Hey guys, and welcome back to Minecraft on the SurvivalCraft server. And I'm standing out in front of Luigi's place because, well, I'm going to take you through what I've done. You see, the arena is pretty much done at this point, guys. Like, we're talking within a pretty good percentage of it is done. We've got this nice little walkway right here. Nicely illuminated by love. And that's actually the first thing I've seen that spawned in here. So, gonna have to maybe make another little change here or there. Might throw a little bit of lava here in this corner so that I get a little more illumination. A little more light. But yeah. Come through and bam, you got this little atrium here that leads to the interior that is not done yet. The as you first walk in, things are not fully finished here because, well, I'm still working out some of the commands and things. Yeah, and I'm also moving where some of the command blocks sit. That way, well, I'll show you guys in a moment. But we do still have the keep inventory stuff, the mob griefing, and leave teams commands here. Now, these four will work as we stand here and whatnot. This one will not because teams have not been set up in the scoreboard system yet because that's what I'm still working on. I'm still working out the scoreboard system because the commands for that confuse the living crap out of me. You guys can see a little bit of lighting right here. Just a little bit. Nothing much. Just enough to provide some ground light to avoid some spawns because I was having a problem where while I got the lighting effects that I liked, unfortunately I wasn't getting the lack of spawns that I wanted. And the lack of spawns is, you don't want spawns in your arena unless you want spawns in your arena. But, oh, wait a minute. Now why? I got two separate pieces of glass there. It looks like. That's really interesting. Gonna have to check that out. I kind of like this though. That almost blends right in. That's obvious. That looks like there's just a hole in the ground. I like said hole in the ground. Look. But you've got all this cover right here. But you also have the hazards on the ground that you have to be aware of. And look, even if we strip down out of our armor, right? It takes a lot to damage you with these, like, plus you can crouch. The whole point of these is more so when you're caught up in a fight, you're not necessarily, you're going to be bouncing around. You're going to, not be watching your footing as much. So this requires you to be a little more cautious. You gotta think about where you're walking and things like that, especially down here in the pit. And I love the effect that these lamps are. I honestly can't think of what these are called off the top of my head. I love the look that these give because they almost look like they're spikes that are about to be driven into the ground. Like, I mean, it does that or does that not look kind of like there's spikes that are gonna just drop, and whoever would be under here would be crushed by them or impaled. But yeah, we got this nice little area down here, and in its own right provides just the tiniest amount of cover, but it also leaves you exposed at the same time because you might have a little bit of cover, but you're not gonna have that much cover really. But no, that's what these are for. You don't want to rely on anything else but like this, or say these pillars that are placed throughout the arena. You can just kind of duck out, pop, get an arrow off, run over here maybe. Now here, you guys can see, I mean, I'm even crouched. I've got almost unrestricted access to hitting somebody, but they're not gonna have totally unrestricted access to hitting me. Like they'll have my chest up, and then from behind here, it's a little hard to see because of the block, but it's just a little piece of your head. But as soon as you come up, it's a little bit more. So you've got a little bit of stuff you got to worry about there. You got to think about what you're doing and how you're gonna attack, things like that. And these are all here for a reason. Things are laid out a certain way for a reason. So let's start with the upstairs here. Let's go upstairs, take a look around. There's not much going on up here that isn't already going on. Text message. There isn't a whole lot going on that isn't already, going on downstairs, basically. Oh, this is the first I've had this problem, actually. Like, I have not had anything spawn up here before. This is interesting. Most of the spawns have been downstairs. Holy creepers. Okay, so gonna have to make some changes. And this is why I do this. This is why I do these little update episodes, because this is basically what I've been doing. I've been just working on this thing non-stop. Just constantly working on this. And frankly, I need a break from it. But also, I want to get at least a use out of it here soon. Not necessarily to, like, a full-on PvP fight, but at least get a couple of us in here and just kind of use it. I mean, it'll be a fight, but it won't be a massive battle or anything of that nature. It'll just be something to kind of get us warmed up and see how we do. As far as this, though, doesn't it look like it's wide open up there? Like there's just nothing going on? It's actually a little bit glass. Got the clear glass going on up there. And then this guy. Oh. That's not supposed to happen. It really isn't supposed to happen. Well, it is, but for a different reason. So, that little platform right there. This is for an idea that Bacon and I kind of came up with a King of the Hill sort of... Oh, for crying out loud, I'm bad. I'm absolutely terrible. Okay, so this has kind of a King of the Hill sort of thing, where one person is kind of picked at random, and by at random, I mean we'll just kind of draw lots, so to speak. We'll somehow flip a coin or something. I don't really know yet how I want to do it. Maybe Bacon can figure out like a redstone machine that'll like do a random like calculation thing that it'll pick somebody standing underneath of it and deposit the armor out. So what'll happen is, as it is, we've already got resistance, we've got swiftness, and we've got healing. Or regen, restore, whatever the hell the healing one is. So we've got that. All in this area, but it's centered right on this with the regen and the resistance. So what you'll have, you got people that are going to try coming across this, and the person up there is going to have some slightly OP stuff. Nothing that'll wipe you out in one hit or anything like that, but, bows with punch. You might have a bow with punch, or you'll have a sword that might have, bow with punch and, like, swords with knockback, that sort of thing. But nothing that'll kill you instantly. It'll just be something that'll just send you flying. You can't come up here and just, knock the person down. And you have to come across these spots. Or, as I figured out, you can jump across. But you're playing risky right there. Because you jump across, that person could be standing here with a bow drawn back, and bam! You're suddenly, your jump's not completed. So... that's a thing. And, some of these little game ideas that we have are going to be kind of like that, where you just have different things that, maybe one person has these items. But that'll just be, as far as the first my current thought on the King of the Hill idea is basically the first person will be drawn at random, but then subsequently it's whoever takes it from that person, whoever's left as the hero or the champion at the end of that match, which will probably just do it timed. Whoever's left at the top, who are actually like knocks the person down, will be the next champion for the next round, and they'll get that set of armor and whatnot instead of the last guy getting to keep it. So that'll be, yeah, that's how we'll kind of rotate it out. Other games, you know, we'll do some different things here and there, but one of the things you guys have probably noticed immediately was the fact the stairs are different on each end. First off, if you look, the entire arena is not uniform in shape. You know, we've got some different things going on here. And while it wasn't originally intentional, I will say it has proven itself to be rather interesting now, as I really kind of like where I'm going with this idea of, so let's go with this. Down here and on the opposing side, you have barracks, right? This is red team, obviously. And down here you'll have a series of commands that each person hits a command block, like their name will be over top of it. And that'll deposit, like that'll change their respawn point to be right there or somewhere around here, wherever I happen to decide it to be. And it'll also change a few other things for that person. Again, those are things that will be decided on as we go. I don't really know how I'm gonna, like, what all I'm doing yet. That's why this is taking so long. Seriously, commands take a while to figure out. I come in, I write out some syntax, think it's going to work, throw it in, hit it, and it doesn't work, and it's back to the drawing pad. So, I've added in these little hallways. Well, this little hallway. There might come a time where I add a second one going around yet. But they come out here, meet up in the middle, and come out here at the top. Now, you can have fights where, you know, you have people come down here and you've got a couple people to stream down here and bam, bam, you know, you've got a fight going back and forth. One of my major rules, however, is no crossing beyond a certain point. Now, where that point will be, I don't know exactly, but we won't have, so to speak, spawn camping, you know, where somebody can just come in and kill somebody as they keep spawning in. I'm not having it. I don't like that idea. It's kind of cheap. It's just for fun. Like, this stuff's for fun, and I don't need somebody getting, you know, overly aggressive like that and just getting pissed off or whatever. And then here's blue team. And again, same command block setup going to happen here. Yeah, I'm really considering maybe another one of these doorways and cuts out across there. I don't know yet. I'm still working that out. You guys can hear the zombies because this one leads directly outside if I were to dig through it. But you guys will notice at the top of the stairs here, you have the staircase, and it's immediately blocking off the entrance. You cannot sit on red team and just pelt this spot with arrows and think you're going to hit anyone. You have these stairs blocking it. They're just going to hit the steps, or maybe get lucky and hit somebody coming right out to the side. But truth is, you won't even really have that much because it's not a perfect line of sight through here. You've got all these pillars. You've got these right here that block it. You've got a lot of things in between here and there that, let's face it, I don't care how good of an archer you are, it's really hard to make that shot. So, yeah, see, you can only make it about halfway. I mean, without hitting the ceiling. So, either way, it's a sense of, you know, somebody can't sit and, so to speak, snipe you as you come out the door. But you also have coverage right here. Well, some of you might be saying, well, Dave, the other side, the stairwell, it doesn't come across like this. It doesn't block the doorway. And you're right. The other side is not the same. Instead, we have a barrier similar to these, but a larger one that people can run out to. Each side has an advantage and a disadvantage. This side, you can come running out and you can kind of survey things a little faster. You're a little more able to kind of look around a little faster than what, say, blue side can. But you're more exposed. You know, you're going to have to move between cover more here. You have a further distance to run to get to this point here. So, you have some disadvantages on red team that blue team does not. Blue team has some disadvantages that you don't have. So, it's an interesting little idea. I mean, definitely a cool concept. And I intentionally have these here because I don't want somebody to just be sitting here and just kind of... So, yeah. Once you'd come out to this point, there's some cover here, but not a whole lot as compared to on blue team. But you also have a little more range of movement to remain within some of that cover. And it definitely provides for a different aspect to things than, say, if you're over on the other team, where things are just, you have the stairwell and you have these podiums that are much, you know, I think they're about the same distance. Well, no, these are further, these are closer. But that team, red team, seems to have a definite advantage in the sense that it seems like you can actually make shots clean across. Like so. That's really hard to say. Ooh. Okay. So, yeah, you can make shots across, but it's not going to be an easy task. Yeah, that took a little bit of gauging in. Jeez. And, I mean, you're not guaranteed to actually snipe somebody. I mean, that could have potentially been a headshot had it come over just a little bit further and somebody had been standing here. That would have been, bam, right in the face. But, you know, at every one of these, I think with every one of these, I have one of these blocks sitting here. That way, you know, somebody's running around here. If they're not careful, they're gonna be taking damage the whole time. So, it's not like staying undercover is a great idea. You're constantly having to watch your footing and hope you don't come across that or constantly be crouched, that sort of thing. But yeah, I think that generally speaking, the arena's done at this point. It's just going to be small touches here and there. So what I'm really thinking about doing is fairly soon here, I want to try to get some of the guys on and, you know, just kind of, so to speak, put it through its paces, run up a few of the small commands, that sort of thing, but nothing major yet, and just kind of start figuring things out a little bit better. And, you know, just maybe get a match in or two. That way, we can actually sit here and say, hey, we've actually done something with it so far. But yeah. I know Luigi's talking about possibly wrapping this wall around so it just interconnects right there. And I'll be honest, I kind of like the idea. Right now, it just doesn't look quite right unless we do, I think. There's just too much exposed, I think. And of course, over here, I did up this walkway for Luigi because he was, you guys can see he redid the doorway here. My original gateway's gone. It's now replaced with this other one that you come walking across. And I didn't want this, you know, to me, as I was looking at it, I'm like, you know, you'd have this walkway come across, but a lot of times like this, you have these stone walkways, but they are not like a instant transition into from stone to dirt when you hit that point. No, it's usually it starts to break up. Like you'd have like the maybe in these areas the stones deteriorating more into dirt or something like that. That you just slowly oh, now you don't have any. It gradually transitions out into each other. And I think it makes it look a lot nicer than if it was just like you'd have a solid line of dirt and stone. I don't think that looks very good. At least in my opinion. I mean that's just my opinion. So, you know, take it for what it is. Now, let's stop in the shop really quick. Let's see if anyone's been in to see us at all. No? 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 I've been keeping things stocked up pretty good. Except for the cooked salmon. I need to fish a little bit more frequently. Honestly, I think fishing I might be about done on because the fish farms are kind of broken now. Like, you can still do it, but I don't know if I'm going to really bother. I really don't. I might replace that with something else in the near future. Because there are other foods I can replace it with. So, you know, maybe a little bit of mushroom soup, that sort of thing. In the meantime, I'm going to leave this off as a shorter episode, I think. But before I leave, I just want to say one thing. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We are literally right away from 65 subs at this time. We are so close, and it's all thanks to you guys. And a lot of you have come over from the Restless Corpse. You've come over from Josh. You've come over from Bacon. You guys are all awesome. Thank you. We are one step closer to 100 subs. And then whatever from there. I don't have any clear-cut goals on that sort of thing. I'm just like, hell, I was surprised when I hit 50, and then the other day I hit 60, and then it just jumped straight from 60 to 64. I'm like, wow, guys. You guys are just absolutely awesome. So thank you. Thank you. And, yeah, I'm going to let things off for that. Night, guys.